Hey everybody, my name is Murray Foster. I am the founder of the Toronto Songwriting School. I'm here today talking with Maureen Pollard, and I think I have the last name correct.
Yes, you do.
I was warned to get the last name right. Maureen Pollard, a registered social worker. Maureen and I have known each other for 6 or 7 months now.
Yeah, about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, since February.
Yeah, so today we're going to talk about the reason that you and I met and our history over the last 6 or 7 months. So about 6 or 7 months ago, you came to my home studio and recorded a song. So take it away from there. Tell us your backstory, who you are, and how you came to be in my house recording a song.
Okay. So I'm a registered social worker, and I have been practicing in social work for about 29 years now. And in the last 5 years or so, I've done a lot of work with suicide postvention, which is working with people who are bereaved by suicide. And the more work that I do with suicide postvention, the more work I end up doing with suicide prevention, because people who lose a loved one to suicide are at higher risk of suicide themselves. I also do a lot of work in traumatic bereavement, and when people lose a family member to homicide or other sudden accidental death, particularly situations where parents lose children or spouses lose partners of long duration, sometimes suicide comes up as a consideration because of the pain they're in that grief. So it's something that I got really familiar working with. It was November, and I had just done a local talk about International Survivor of Suicide Day and International Survivor of Suicide Loss Day. I was thinking a lot about some people in my life who sometimes think about suicide because their lives are really difficult and they're really struggling at times. And these words just came to me, and kind of a melody was coming with them. And I was like, wow, this feels like a song. And that was probably last November, 2019. And it took me a few months to figure out what to do about that, which happened to be called the Toronto Songwriting School. Actually, email the Toronto Songwriting School.
Yes.
And set up an appointment. And so we met for the first time in February, on February 14th, actually. And it all took off from there.
Yep. So let's listen to the song now, so people have an idea of what we're talking about. So here's the song and the video for a song called, do you want to introduce the song?
I Hope You Stay. I Hope You Stay.
I Hope You Stay. So here it is.
All around
So, what was your experience recording that song?
Um, it's been a really cool adventure. And it's something, I mean, it sounds a little weird to say that working on a suicide prevention project has been fun, but it kind of has been, because I put this message out in the world all the time in the work that I do. I say to people, I hope you stay. I hope that this can turn around for you. And I spend a lot of time giving this message. And so to turn it into music was really powerful and and pretty cool. And a big part of that was honestly just meeting you and spending time with you. You're very good at calming nerves, and you're very good at what you do, which made it just so easy to move this from my heart and mind into the world.
Yeah. Well, and I must say, for someone sort of coming in cold to this process, as I've said to you before, you have a really good sense of lyric, like writing words that sound like lyrics, which is not true for everybody. And you came into it with a really strong, like, I mean, you sang me the song, so you had a really strong sense of melody as well. And for me, from my point of view, the melody suggested the chords fairly, like, easily. So the song was, I mean, I threw chords to it, but it was really, it was pretty fully formed when we the first time we sat down, and it went quite quickly.
Yeah, which felt really neat, really like a gift.
Yeah, cool. So, and one of the things I've said to you about the song and the lyrics of the song is that they sound like lived experience on your part. Like they sound wise. They sound like words that that you or someone in your position have actually said to people. You know, it really, for me, it really rang like these are actual words that you would actually say to someone in that situation. So talk a little about the message of the song.
So it's true. As I said, these are words I actually say often to people when they're thinking about suicide. You know, and it really comes from a place deep in me, because my first experience with that really was when a good friend of mine attempted suicide in high school. And so those words have been coming from me for a long time. I feel like sometimes they help. Sometimes it helps to hear, just hold on, pain ends. And sometimes it helps to hear, I'm on your side, I'm pulling for you. And so the words of the song do all of that. And that is also a way of offering people who have someone in their life who's thinking about suicide a possibility of some things they can say too.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
yeah,
we can open this conversation. People can have real conversations about what they're feeling, even when what they're feeling is life might not be worth living right now. We can have real conversations, and those connections and conversations are part of what help people turn back to life.
Right. Yeah. So on that first day in February when we met, you had a vision for what this song was going to be for, and this week is the day that that it was for. Like you had the vision 7 months in advance. So tell us about this week. Tell us about this day, and sort of your what it is and your vision for the song during that day.
Thank you. It's World Suicide Prevention Day on Thursday, September 10th. And it's a day where we just pause for a moment and just really think about how can we help every one of us, how can we help prevent suicide around the world. So the Canadian Association for Suicide Prevention is an organization that I've come to be familiar with. I've spoken at a few of their conferences and connected with some people there. They offer free resources on their website for anyone who needs help, whether they're thinking about suicide themselves or they're trying to help somebody who's thinking about suicide. And so this song really is created to help raise awareness for the Canadian Association of Suicide Prevention locally. I have an acquaintance in Rhode Island who has been working in suicide loss for 40 years. And he suggested I send it on to the International Association for Suicide Prevention as well. So I've sent that link to them with a message inviting them to share it as well. So I'm hoping that it travels far, just to raise awareness and give people this message. If you're thinking about suicide, people hope you stay. And if you're trying to help someone who's thinking about suicide, you can say these things to them.
Mm-hmm. What's your advice to people who actually have suicidal thoughts, or they know someone who has suicidal thoughts?
So if you're thinking about suicide, my advice is to really pause and just take some deep breaths. Really, like the song says, take one breath at a time. Take one breath and then take another, because while you're pausing, things will shift. Nothing stays the same. Nothing stays the same, whether it's good or bad. Everything passes in its time. Again, it comes back to those lyrics, just like bad weather passes, right? Even the worst storm passes. And so if you're thinking about suicide, try to hold on, take a breath, and make it through. And if you're supporting someone who thinks about suicide, don't be afraid to talk to them about it. While they're talking to you, they're not dying. And so if you open that conversation and if you ask them, are you thinking about suicide? If you get that vibe that that's what's happening, you can give them that pause that they need.
Mm-hmm. Are there organizations to reach out to? Are there phone numbers that we can share?
Yeah, in fact, the Canadian Association for Suicide Prevention website has the full list, and there are telephone lines, there are chat lines, or chat forums, I don't know what you call those on the internet, and text lines open as well. So whichever way you prefer to communicate, talk, text, or chat, there's something available for people there of all ages.
Fantastic. Well, thank you for doing this interview, and thank you for your energy and your efforts with this cause, and raising awareness and hopefully nudging the needle in the right way with all of this stuff. And thanks for joining me, and everyone out there listening. Support the Canadian Association for Suicide Prevention. And, reach out to people who you feel might be in trouble, basically. Thank you, Maureen. We will see you again soon enough, working on other songs. But again, thanks for your efforts for this cause. I think it's fantastic. So
thank you. I really appreciate your support. It really has just made the project richer and more professional, and I really appreciate that. Thank you.
Fun.
And fun. So much fun.
Okay, we'll see you soon. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, bye.